Hey everyone, hi.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. My name is Nikola Alexandrov, and I'm the CEO of LockChain.
My name is Hristo, COO.
We are the co-founders of LockChain.co, and today's session has the purpose of some answering in real-time questions that have been sent from our community, and to make a direct discussion with anyone who has some questions additional, some comments, and just feels like he wants to discuss our project in general. We will be happy to discuss it. We have already received a list of some questions, and we will start answering them. And in the meantime, whoever connects with us and whoever wishes to ask something in real time, he will be given a priority. So feel free to say whatever you have in mind, and we'll be happy to discuss. So the first question is, can I invest? What is my profit if I invest? What is the exact value proposition for the investors? What is the reason the lock would cost more in a year or two? So that's a very good question, although it's a bit general question. First off, we would like to be specifically clear on the issue about investing. The tokens themselves are not an investment. They're not a security. They are a digital token, which is a utility token, and it's directly related to the service that we want to develop. The reason why we clarify this is because if it is considered as an investment, it might go into some regulatory conflicts, and we want to make sure that all of our supporters are aware of this. So about the question, what is your profit if you buy the lock? What is the exact value proposition? So the lock's purpose is to create an ecosystem and to be an invariable part of an ecosystem which can drive the value of the token by popularizing a retail service. Similar like Ethereum is necessary for people who are doing crowdfunding at the present, like us. We want to create a token which will be necessarily and valuable to anyone who likes to travel. So the value proposition is that the value of the token is related to its necessity, its utility. By making a service which is beneficial for the end users, we hope to establish the popularity of the token so it can grow in its demand. So maybe next question.
All right. So the next question is there any profit share to lock owner, or the value is only based on bid and ask? I don't see it on the white paper. Well, I think Nikola has already answered most of this question, but I'll also get into some more details. So the lock token does not have any reward mechanism. So it means that if you hold it, you're not going to receive any more digital currency or something additional. The lock token can be traded on exchanges, and it can also be used to access the decentralized application, which is part of LockChain. This is actually the heart of the project, the main thing which we want to create. Using the lock token, any property owner can post his listings about his hotel or private property, and this listing can after that be accessed by everyone on the web directly using the lock token. So if you want to book your travel, you send lock tokens, and the lock token acts as a legal tender in this type of a deal. The lock tokens are then held in an escrow smart contract. We don't hold the tokens until the stay has been verified and has been completed. After a successful stay, the smart contract releases the lock tokens to the property owner. And this is how the decentralized engine is going to work. So there is no additional reward for this.
Okay, so next question is, any plan to onboard people from the auto industry? How are you guys looking to grow the listings? Is there currently any interest from properties? So that's a very good question. Our strategy in general is to attract the property owners in the first place. This is how we plan to create the popularity of the service. We are aware that it's not possible to go head-to-head and beat Priceline with simple marketing and with conventional marketing tools. This is why we're trying to create a new kind of supply, basically cutting out, slashing prices with up to 20%, and creating the value for the property owners first. Then after creating the supply, we expect this to be a valuable service to the end users and to rely on the viral effect of people being extremely price sensitive in this market niche to use the service, to share it, to discuss it with their people, with their acquaintances, and this way to grow the service. So far, the feedback from the property owners has been great. We've been receiving letters from all over the world. There has been support from almost all continents. We have also received some plans from property owners to create like regional support groups where they discuss our projects with other hoteliers, because as a clusters, they are connected to each other. Basically, wherever there are several hotels or several properties in one place, they tend to communicate with each other, and this in general creates a very good platform and very good support for our project. So in addition, we have also signed an agreement with a channel management company called Fantastic Stay, and we have received an agreement. We have made an agreement with them to onboard 10,000 properties that they have in their database. So to summarize this question, we have an extremely sound strategy of how to plan and to onboard people from the hotel industry, and so far it's been going great.
Super. Next question. How do you plan to grow your user base? Will this be a freemium model where hotels will pay for higher listings, or how do you plan to generate revenue since it's zero commission on the transactions? Well, I think this is actually two questions in one. So how do you plan to grow your user base? First, when you think about LockChain's application on the web as a web page and on mobile as an application, our intention is to create something which is already familiar for the users. We don't want to change significantly the interfaces which are now popular by other companies like Booking.com or Airbnb. We also use them. We are familiar with them. They are easy to use. Well, most of the time, some things can be improved. So once we have this, we start the real battle. So nowadays, building a marketplace, it's a tough thing because you are facing the problem of the chicken and the egg. So on the one side, you need the property owners to have properties as a content for your service, and on the other side, you need the clients so they can interact, they can trade on the platform, on the marketplace with the current content, with the properties. As Nikola said, the first goal would be, of course, to add new supply, so to add more properties, both in the areas of hotel industry and also in the private properties. And after that, our goal would be to attract the travelers which are going to make these reservations, which are going to book the properties. And I see this as a continuous process. So after that, we need to increase both the supply and the demand on the service. Our strategy is to start with niche marketing. So we are now doing an ICO which is already reaching a lot of people, and these people are buying the lock tokens before the platform is being created. And that means that they are the first potential customers of the platform. Some of you guys are going to sell your lock tokens, and others are going to use them directly to book your hotel for your next trip. So this is the heart of the first step of the marketing. The second one is to expand this niche of crypto people who are familiar with the cryptocurrencies and they know how to use it, and then expand it even further to other digital nomad groups and people who live on the go, so to say. And then, of course, use the performance marketing in order to reach as many people as possible, and for the best target. So will this be a freemium model, and how we are going to make money? So with Nikola, we look at that point in so to say in two directions. As founders and our team as well, we keep part of the tokens which we're emitting now on the token sale. So our greatest motivation and incentive for profit is actually to increase the value of the lock token. That means that we need to increase the value of the service which we are providing to all the people who use the service. So this is the one part. The second part is, of course, the profit of the company itself. And if we don't have any commission, we have to think how we can make money from something else. And here comes the so-called freemium model. It is described in the white paper. It means that everyone is free to publish their property on the platform. Everyone is free to book it. There is really zero commission. But if you want to win more exposure, if you want your property to go to be highlighted or to be visible on top of everyone else, there will be an option, a freemium option for you to pay additional lock tokens. So we promote your listing, but this is only optional. So if the platform is successful and we have a lot of properties, some people are going to wish more exposure, and we count on that to pay the expenses for the company. For the past 13 years, I have been making all of my money in my company, Access Software. This is a gaming company which creates games which are free to play, again, freemium model. All of the players, they register and play immediately for free, but a certain amount of them want to play in a more comfortable way, or like want to get all of the extras of the game, so they pay additionally real money in order to get them. So to be honest, this is 1 or 2% of all of the players, and these guys generate 99% of the company profit. I think this model can be transferred to LockChain, and again, it should be sufficient to sustain the company's expenses and to allow it to grow in terms of user acquisition and marketing. The goal of reaching a better price for the lock token is something which we take in as more important here.
Yes. I just want to add that the value of the token can offset much more any possibility for the company to be profitable. Because the ideal profitable company right now, either way, is Priceline. And we do not want to create another super profitable company in the travel sector, because that will mean that we would need to take that profit from the end buyers, from the end users. Instead, we want to give back the value to the end users, and in return, this to be the platform based on which the token's value will rise. And by increasing the value of the token, we have an incentive, we have a motivation, because we own lock tokens as well. So this is perfectly in line with the interest of anyone who buys the lock token. So next question. I would like to ask you, what is the exact value proposition? What is the reason the lock would cost more in a year or two? So although this question is a bit hypothetical, first off, in order for the lock token to cost more in a year, we need to consider that the service is successful to a certain extent. What would drive the lock price up would be simply the disbalance between the supply and the demand for the token. In order to maximize the disbalance in the favor of it being more demanded, we have ensured that we apply a model for the distribution of the token, which maximizes the digital scarcity of the token. What does this exactly mean? It means that first off, we create a one-time portion of the lock, and we make it as a public sale. And that's it. There is no more lock ever going to be created. So this by itself is one of the factors that tips the balance in this favor. The next thing that we also ensure is that any lock that is unsold during the token sale will be destroyed. By destroying any outstanding lock, we make sure that there is no additional supply at any additional moment in time. And in addition, basically, we are currently considering to restructure our budgeting in order to focus more on driving this balance. For example, we are currently running a vote with our community where we have provided a secondary model where we can completely develop this business without any kind of compromise by lowering the initial funds that we're raising to cover for the first 2 years, and then to utilize the reserves that we keep for ourselves to make a secondary sale in the future. So this means that all of the things that we do with the token sale are considered from the perspective of the people who buy it, and we want to make sure that we provide all of the circumstances that could lead to the price increase. Furthermore, the circulation of the lock token, because it's going to be used for the bookings, by itself also is another factor that tips the disbalance in favor for the demand. Why is this so? Because for any booking that anyone makes, it's usually made for some time in the future. You usually book your stay, for example, which is in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. You book it with a couple of weeks in advance. So when you do that, the lock will be locked into the smart contract, which would also be a sort of an escrow account. And when that happens, the lock will be taken out of the market. This by itself limits the lock in circulation, and as the service grows, this by itself is also going to be a factor of the supply and the demand. So maybe next question.
Yep. The 10th question, I think I'm going to leave it to you. I think you can give a better answer than me. I'll jump to number 11. And maybe next time we have to do it in the afternoon. It was hard for me to get up, and maybe for most of the users it's the same. But we have a list of over 50 questions. So if you guys want to ask something additionally, just post it on the channel, and we're going to stop reading the question we gathered and jump directly to your question. So number 11 is how you see the lock token holders get profit on their initial purchase on the pre-sale. As lock is a closed loop, I cannot see how it can get value. All right, so if you buy your lock tokens right now, in the future, as we said, after the token sale, we close the token sale, we destroy all of the remaining lock tokens. So the only lock tokens remain in circulation will be the one who have been acquired in the token sale and can be given to the team. In the future, the lock tokens can, if you think about it, where can these lock tokens be? They should either be in the traveler, in the property owner, on any exchange, or where it becomes interesting is that the lock tokens can be locked in the smart contracts for the booking. I have already explained to you how we think, how we have designed our booking engine. Is if I'm a property owner and Nikola is a traveler, when I list my property and Nikola likes it on the web page and he wants to travel and spend 1 week, he's going to pay with lock tokens, and these lock tokens are going to go in the smart contract associated with my listing. They are going to stay there until my stay is over, and after that they're going to be disbursed to Nikola. In case of any problem, we have designed a dispute mechanism which allows both the traveler and also the property owner to be protected. This is in case of fraud. Let's say that there is a property owner who lists a property which is not there, or it is there but is not as good as it has been advertised, and the traveler can be protected. Same goes if the property owner has a bad guest who trashes his apartment and he needs to cover some costs. So this is also possible. And I can frankly say that I think that we are going to be the first such service which is going to be 100% trustless. It means that the smart contract is going to handle all of these operations. And the moment it's everything is centralized. But now getting back to the question, how what can increase the value? We have done some research on the numbers of which Booking.com, Airbnb, Agora, and other online travel agencies are doing right now. So we step on the numbers of average bookings per day, and also some other parameters which allow us to to plan how much lock tokens can be locked at a certain moment in the smart contract. Because that means that if these lock tokens are are locked in the smart contract, they kind of decrease the supply because they are in the smart contract. They cannot be used by either the traveler, the property owner, or any other party unless they are disbursed. And we have discovered that on average, people tend to book their holiday or their business trip 2 weeks ahead. Like some people do it on the last minute and some people do it 1 month in advance. But average data says that 2 weeks ahead. The average stay is 4.5 days, having in mind that it differs between a leisure travel and a business travel. But according to Booking and Airbnb stays, on average it is 4.5 days. So if you think about it, from the moment when the lock is locked in the smart contract in the escrow account and it's been disbursed, there is 14 days plus 4.5 days, or a total of 18.5 days on average when the tokens are going to be in the smart contract. The average cost per room night is supposed to be about $150. So the data I found was $139, but it was in 2015. So we think that in 2018 it should be a little bit higher.
Yes.
And if you think about it, at a certain moment, like if we do 1,000 bookings per day, like there should be an X amount of tokens locked for the next 18 days. And if we manage to reach Airbnb's bookings per day, which one guy has been investing this issue, and on his blog he says that they have approximately 81,000 bookings per day. Well, that means that almost, I think the number were something like 600 million worth of dollars at a certain point of bookings. So of course, everything. If such thing happens, this means that we are going to be successful, that our platform is good and people like to use it. So this is what is our goal, and if we manage to achieve it, this is one of the reasons we believe that the lock token can increase in value. And as it is a utility token, this is not going to affect the platform. Like if the rate of the lock is different, we just use it as an instrument.
Yes. So just to make a quick addition, basically the supply and the demand, they're always in balance. Think of them like two forces. And when one of the forces has a little bit of a prevalence over the other, this starts to create a pressure which pushes the price upwards. So what Hristo just explained is that if people book, if people use our service, this is going to lock the token into the escrow accounts for approximately 20 days. You take the 20 days multiplied by the bookings, and this creates an increased amount of blocked quantity of tokens which are taken out of the market. So this by itself creates a little bit of a tip towards the increase in its value. So the next question is it's a fairly quick one. How do you plan to get the hotels to submit rates and availability, including channel managers? So our goal is from both sides, also from the hotels and from the buyers, to create an experience, a user experience that does not differ in any way from the currently established ones. We don't want to shock in any way, neither the hotels and neither the buyers. What we want to do instead is create a platform that just slashes the prices and keeps the value for all members. So to answer quickly on this one, it'll be done in the standard way. Both hotel owners and channel managers would be able to update their pricing and availability through the web-based interface, and as well as through an API channel where they can submit their rates and availabilities.
Okay.
So next question.
I think the next two questions we already answered, but
yes.
Do you agree on the fact that to create value, lock must be kept, basic offer and demand principle? Yeah. Why are you so confident that lock will become popular and raise its price? As I understand, lock is just to book. I just explained why. And if you want to get into more details, follow me on Medium. There is a topic which I wrote a couple of weeks ago, explaining a lot of details, having also an Excel sheet with some real data and some mathematics. If you think I'm wrong somewhere, just post a comment. I'll be very happy to discuss further. Okay, how and do you have contract managers for speaking with hotels? If so, what is the target for first years in terms of number of contracted hotels? Well, yes. Well, if you look at our white paper, we have declared that most of the funds which we managed to get are going to go into portfolio expansion. So it means that we need to push a lot of effort into growing our database of properties. At the moment, we are not pushing this so hard because the token sale is our primary objective. And also, a lot of property owners are already contacting us, like people from some far locations like Tanzania. They contacted us. They told us they want to list with us from the United States, from Canada, from Europe. And our goal is to be able to create an alpha version of our portal, of the marketplace, until the end of the year. So in this portal, we're going to have 200 to 300 properties, which we already have with our partner for Fantastic Stay. We were also discussing a possible deal for 7,000 more properties with another channel manager. So actually, we're calm on that side. I think that like cutting the middleman, giving people 1/5 or even 1/4 of the value, which is now lost of middlemen, is going to give us a good push in terms of content. But we're also thinking of organizing some active actions towards that. So once we start creating the platform, we're going to have some synchronous processes like the development of the platform, research, and also expansion of the portfolio. In our team, we have a team member who has a lot of experience in the online travel industry. She's actually also certified. She will have a green light to recruit more people in her team and start going to different conferences for travel, meeting hotel owners, hotel chains, and her goal would be to do active actions in expanding the portfolio. Another team member, which we already have, Marco, our Italian guy, he has been working with Cvent. Cvent is an international platform which works with the big hotel chains, and they don't rent out their rooms, but they rent out their conference rooms. So if you want to book a meeting, you go and you can choose a hotel in your city. So he has been doing this for some years. He has been already in communication with hotel chains. He knows what they want and how they do it. And we also hope that after the token sale, he can focus his energy on this.
And in general, this is one of our highest priorities. We plan to start working with the channel managers at first in order to figure out how to implement their whole database of properties. This by itself is going to lead to tremendous effectiveness and huge optimization in terms of property acquisitions. So rest assured that this is one of our top priority, and we will work very hard towards it.
We actually have our first message from Adam. We will list with you, Royal Medic We.
Yes.
And happy to be your test property. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you.
Sure.
We'll be happy to have you on board. As soon as we open up the listing for public partners, we'll get in touch with you and have it organized. So next question is, how and when the hotel owner can convert LockChain to native currency or US dollar or euro? So that's a very good question. We are aware that most of the hotel owners have their preference to receive their bookings in native currency or in fiat currency. And we have this in mind when designing the engine. So what is very important here to know is that the engine, the decentralized booking engine, it will operate with the LockChain token. This doesn't necessarily mean that the buyer and the hotel owner have to operate and keep that lock for them. So how can we arrange this to happen? First off, the lock token will have an aftermarket where there will be buyers and sellers. This is our highest priority, one of the highest priorities, to arrange sufficient market liquidity for the lock token in order for us to be able to provide direct clearance into US dollar, euro, and other native currencies to the HODL owners. We can achieve this by creating a hedged position on every booking that we receive. Imagine, like, at the moment that someone makes a booking for any stay, instantly we create another deal with another person from the aftermarket, where we sell the equivalent of the lock that is being booked in the reservation. And this way, we take that lock and we basically supply it to another person, and basically we create an interlink between the buyer, the seller of the lock, and the HODL property owner. Because we take the lock, we sell it instantly, and then with the fiat currency that we receive, we can accredit that to the account balance of the HODL owner. So this is one of our very important features that we're working on. We are aware of that. This is very important for the HODL owners, and we know that without this feature, we will not be able to grow our inventory. So we are considering from the very beginning, and it's going to be planned and it's going to be implemented into the booking engine. So next question.
Which is the way for registering a new property in the platform in order to protect the customer from any kind of fraud?
From a legal point.
Yes. Okay, well, I think I can answer in general what we have been thinking when it comes to fraud. So first, we need to look at that from two perspectives: the perspective of the traveler and the perspective of the property owner. The perspective from the property owner in terms of fraud, well, what can it be? Like, first, maybe I don't get my money. So this is not possible. Well, you don't get a reservation unless you put some lock tokens in the smart contract.
Yeah.
So we just eliminate this point. Second point is if the guest is troublesome, so he destructs property, he makes problems. In any house, he is harmful to my property. Here we have been thinking of two mechanisms. So first one is, if you are a property owner, you can, in the moment of listing of your property, you can define a deposit guarantee. So this is an amount of lock which you want to get additionally in the smart contract to the pricing, and they stay locked there until the end of the booking. And if there is no problem, this deposit lock are brought back to the traveler. If there is a problem, you can keep that money or a certain percentage of that money. Second option is actually something where we are not going to discover the hot water again. So what does Airbnb do? They, in their commission, they have a certain percentage which goes to an insurance fund. And this fund claims that it's going to cover damage in such situations. So we want to be clear that we are not going to have a commission, so it's going to be zero, but we are going to give the property owners additional option. If they wish, they can check they can check that they wish to have an insurance, and this will cost them small percentage of the booking price. This money are again going to go in a smart contract, the LockChain insurance smart contract. We are going to have access to it. And in such kind of situations, we can basically do the same as Airbnb. We can cover the damage of some of the properties if they have signed up for that service.
Right. So next question is, what kind of wallets do you support? In what wallets can I receive my tokens? So the lock token is an ERC20 by standard token. It is compatible with almost all popular digital wallets, regardless if they're web-based or they're client-based. We recommend using My Ethereum wallet as an application because it's straightforward. and it works directly with the blockchain. It doesn't store any of your information. It's considered as a secured and user-friendly way to receive and operate with your lock tokens. So what is very important to know is that we establish the way that the smart contract that we use distributes the lock is completely direct from the perspective of the buyer. So as soon as you send the lock, as soon as you send the Ethereum to the smart contract will distribute directly and instantly the lock tokens to you. This transaction, of course, is going to be subjected to the time it will take for the blockchain to process it, but the smart contract will instantly submit that transaction as soon as it receives the Ethereum. The advantage of this direct purchase is that at any time we don't interfere with it. As you've already noticed, you don't have to add any funds to our dashboard, and you don't have to send any ethers to our dashboard. This makes sure that we eliminate any risks of any security vulnerabilities that might affect the purchase process.
Super. Okay, we're going to pause because we have a question from Danny. Danny's question is, hello, how can I add my property in your reservation system? So Danny, at the moment you cannot add it. We are now, our platform is being built at the moment. This is the reason why we are doing the token sale. At a certain point, you will be able to access LockChain.co marketplace, where you do a registration and you can upload your property. You can either upload it yourself by uploading some photos, adding a description, adding your pricing conditions, or if your property is already listed somewhere in Airbnb, Booking.com or other platform, we plan to have an easy integration where you can just, at least we plan it at the moment like this, you can just click one button and our platform is going to get all of your data and place it on our website. So stay tuned. We hope to follow our roadmap and to be able to present the platform and the ability of the users to add web properties very soon.
Yes, it's very important to know that we are planning to open that as a possibility even at the early alpha version of our engine. We have it currently under development, and we are trying our hardest to be able to push it to go live by the end of this month. So even if there is a delay of, let's say, 1 or 2 weeks, in each case, we hope that you will be able to add your property, for example, around 15th of November.
Let's say by the end of the year. Like I'm speaking more to the developers.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, but he's speaking about the beta version. For the alpha version, as soon as it's live, it will have a feature of anybody to list their property on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the next few questions were all concerning wallets, exchanges, and the token itself. So I will read more of one question. Do I need ERC20 compatible wallet, or I can use my Bittrex wallet? Can I transfer money to account of Coinbase in Estonia? What kind of digital wallet you recommend? Once we bought the token, can we send it to another wallet? So you need a wallet which supports ERC20 tokens. Wallets which are in exchanges like Coinbase, Kraken, or something else, you should not use them. Like these platforms, they create a wallet for you. This is not your wallet, so don't send any Ethereum from exchanges. The best is myetherwallet.com, where you enter. You can use your private key or your JSON file to access your wallet, or you can create a new one and you can send from there, and then you can manage your tokens. When you send Ethereum to our smart contract, you're going to get the lock tokens immediately. And these tokens, they can be also sent immediately to other addresses. So the moment we issue the tokens, they are immediately transferable.
Okay, very good. So next question is, on which exchanges are you going to list your tokens? Well, when will I be able to trade on exchange? So that's a very, very important question. As I've already discussed and explained, our service relies on the aftermarket liquidity. In order for us to be able to provide a fixed price spot booking for the hotel owners and they to be sure that they will get the exact amount in fiat currency in which the reservation was made, we need to have a proper integration with exchanges. Currently, we have an agreement with one local exchange already, although it's a very early stage. The exchange name is exchange.bg, and we're also working with 2 more international exchanges. So our plan is by the end of December to be listed on at least two exchanges and to have a maximum liquidity of our token.
Okay. When LOCK hits the exchanges, its price is going to be pretty volatile. How will that reflect on actually spending LOCK coins for accommodation versus coins as an investment asset? Okay, well, frankly, we don't know how the LOCK token is going to be traded after the token sale. It can go up, it can go down. When we talk about the platform, this actually doesn't matter, because the property owner, when he decides to list the property, he has 2 options. One option would be to fix the price in LOCK tokens, and he's going to receive the money for the stay in LOCK tokens. The other option would be to fix the price to a fiat currency. Let's say you have $100 per night, $100 would be the option. And in such case, we're going to convert the fiat currency to LOCK tokens at the moment of having the reservation in our own exchange. And at the moment, the LOCK token can have a lower price or a higher price. So we're just going to convert it real time and send them the fiat money to the hotel.
Yes. So as a summary, the price of the bookings and the accommodations will not be affected by the volatility. That's because the price will be determined by the hotel owners and they will bind it with the fiat equivalent. So regardless if LOCK tokens go up or down, the price of the accommodation when converted into fiat will always stay the same. So this is not going to affect the quality of the service. When LOCK hits the exchanges,
it's the same question.
Okay, it's the same. So will you be listed on Bittrex or hit BTC? Like we've already discussed, we are making a strong effort. We are in communication with several exchanges, and we will make sure that we are listed on at least 2 to 3 exchanges in December. I cannot reveal the names of those exchanges except for the local exchange, which is called exchange.bg. We already have a signed agreement with them. So as soon as we sign the agreements with the additional exchanges, we will make it public, we will announce it, and our target is to achieve this before the end of the token sale.
Okay. How exactly are you going to do instant conversion of fiat payment to LOCK coins without paying commission to exchanges? We're thinking of 2 ways here. So LockChain as a project has 3 pillars, so to say. The first one is the decentralized engine, which keeps all the listings and the reservations and the LOCK tokens. It's open for public. The second one is the centralized application. This is our marketplace, which you can use as a website or as a mobile application in the future. And the third one is an exchange. And this exchange is going to handle the exchange between LOCK and fiat. Initially, to keep liquidity, we have planned some of our team tokens to go into this exchange so we can handle the balance between the bid and asks on the market. In general, we expect that some of the travelers are going to be the ones who are going to buy LOCK tokens if they want to pay with fiat money, and some of the hotels are going to be the ones who actually want fiat money instead of LOCK. So this is the flow we expect on the exchange. If we need help, we're also planning to connect to some of the exchanges using their trade APIs and do the conversion real time. So this is the second priority, because if we do that, then we need to pay the commission for the exchange.
Okay, so next question. Are the tokens immediately transferable, and is this a scam? So the tokens are immediately transferable. As we've described, we have structured the smart contract distribution instantly and directly to your personal wallet. There is no withholding, neither to the Ethereum that you send to it, or the lock that is distributed back to you. So as soon as you send the Ethereum and the blockchain processes the transaction, you will be sent the lock, and you will be able to transfer it to anyone who you like to transfer it to. And is this a scam? Well, obviously, this is not a scam. We're extremely dedicated towards this project. We are aware that currently with the ICOs is a little bit of a wild west situation. There are no regulations around the world. There are only warnings, and some people are trying to take advantage of this. We are extremely cautious and extremely responsible towards our contributors. We have a legal team which is advising us on how to structure the whole procedure. We are specifically limiting the token sale to any US-based, Chinese, Singapore, and South Korean participants. This is just to double check that we will not get into any kind of regulatory issues. And we are the only project in the world that is actually backed and supported by a former head of state. As you know, Mr. Rosen, President Rosen Plednevljev. He's part of our team. We actually had a meeting with him 2 days ago. We discussed the progress of the project. So to summarize, no, this is not a scam. We're extremely serious about this. We are 100% dedicated towards it. Although we have other businesses, we have structured those businesses to be self-sufficient to a certain extent, and we're focusing all of our energy right now towards this project and making it come true.
Super. Why are you based in Bulgaria? Who is your tech team? Why are you based in Bulgaria? Well, we are Bulgarians. We live here, both me and Nikola, and most of our team. Some of our team members, they are not Bulgarian. They live across different countries, but we have already done that in our previous businesses. So it's just a matter of the right communication and the right people on the right role. Also, as Nikola said, we have the president of Bulgaria in our team, so it will be kind of strange if we are incorporated in another country. Bulgaria is part of the European Union. It has good legal framework both for the business itself and for the token sale. We have lower taxes over here, 10% flat on everything, both companies and individuals. You're welcome to come. We have good climate. We have most of our friends. We have, like this what Nikola said, with our existing businesses, this is actually, I see this as a great advantage. Because these companies are running, they have their own CEOs. In Excel software, I have great technical talent. You know, within our games, we have more than 50 million registered players for these 14 years of operations, and these players they are very cocky sometimes. They want to hack the game in any possible way to win an advantage versus the other players. And we had a lot of tough situations, and I want to use this experience to bring more security to the LockChain project. Some of the both CTOs of the company, they have been helping already with checking the dashboards and how we do the token sale, and this will probably continue. The other company which I founded is the Software University, which is based in Sofia. This is a private initiative which educates people in software development. We are the first such education initiative in Bulgaria which runs blockchain development courses. Like 2 weeks ago, we started a course signing up more than 500 people. The course is about 6 months. It starts with blockchain basics and it ends with writing Solidity applications. So I really hope that LockChain is going to benefit from the technical talent and from the smart people which are coming to Software University, and it can fulfill the team and its future development. And Nikola, on his side, he's actually the best person I know in terms of performance marketing and digital marketing. So if I bring the talent, I hope that he's going to bring you guys and most of your friends in the service when it's already ready and operational.
So why the name LockChain? Will the booking website have a different, more suitable name that Google doesn't ask if you meant blockchain when you Google it? All right, so the name LockChain, we've chosen it because it has to represent the decentralized booking engine. And that's why we've chosen lock in terms of the access to a property with the chain, which is a connotation for the blockchain. We are aware that from a marketing perspective, this might not be the perfect name for the market application that will after that provide a service. But nevertheless, we believe that that's a very good name to represent the project as a whole. Will this stay the name for the market application? Well, this is up to our community to decide. As you know, we're currently running a vote that is extremely important. We take it from an ethical point that we need to discuss all the important questions with our community. And if our community decides and thinks that we need to change the brand of the market application, we'll be more than willing to do so. We can run a survey to all of our contributors, and whatever the decision is on that question, we can put it into action. So to summarize, no, that's not the final name of the service of the market application, but for the decentralized engine, this brand and this name will most probably stay.
How fast will be the payment transactions? How many transactions we will be able to process per minute? Okay, this is a technical question. Like having in mind that we are going to base the decentralized application on Ethereum, we're going to get the good side and the bad sides of the Ethereum virtual machine. And when there is an ICO or something else which is intensive on the Ethereum network, you guys know that sometimes the transactions are being delayed. And will this be a problem actually for LockChain? So first, we don't need the operations to be real-time. Even Booking.com and the others, they are not doing it at the moment real-time. They are showing you that your reservation has been confirmed, but this is actually not true. They need to communicate it with the hotel, and sometimes maybe you have experienced it already. Sometimes the hotel tell you, well, your credit card is not accepted or something else. So how the hell was my reservation confirmed when 24 hours after that, someone tells me that it's not? So we in general, we don't think this is a problem. And something else we are also considering, we can start with Ethereum at the moment, but in the future we can also build the decentralized layer on different blockchains. In our team, we have one of the co-founding members of Eternity, Mr. Nikola Stoyanov, and also the founder of Eternity, Yanis Vakhmalakov. We have very good relationship, we're friends. And we are also considering that once these guys put their project on the mainnet and they are good, they claim that they can do it, they can scale the smart contracts, they can do them faster, it is quite possible that we are going to team up with them and improve the timing and the speed of the application. Keep in mind that this is really a new technology. Blockchain technology is evolving, I would say not every year, but probably every month, every day. So we're here to catch the newest trends and apply them in the best way we can in our project.
Right. So what will happen with the investments if soft cap is not reached during the pre-sale? So basically, we have the project is structured in a way that we want to ensure that we get the full budget that we would need for the whole 3 years of the development of the project. This is what has been put initially in the white paper. As you know, we're currently restructuring our budget, and we're running a vote with our community where we have provided an alternative method where we can raise funds only for the first 2 years and focus on towards the secondary sale of our reserve, because we have a 25% reserve on the lock tokens. And this would actually put our interest in perfect lining with the interest of our contributors. As soon as the token value increases, we will be able to raise additional funds for the secondary stage of the project. So if the project soft cap is not reached, as you know, there are always alternative methods for additional crowdfunding and funding in general. We can also go to VC companies. We have very good relationships with them. So in worst case scenario, rest assured that we'll make sure that we gather the funds that are needed for the project to come true. So far, we have raised $1.5 million US. in just 1 week, and we still have approximately 50 more days until the token sale is over. So all of these are very good signs, especially when we keep in mind how serious the competition right now is for ICOs, and basically how much projects are currently on the market. And so at this point, let's give an answer in this way. If we don't manage to reach our soft cap, we'll try to reach it with VCs. If we don't reach it with VCs and with other funding possibilities, we're going to restructure the service in such a way that we focus only to the core of it, to provide the extremely price competitive service, and this by itself could generate the viral effect to grow the service in popularity. So we have additional methods to make this happen.
Yeah, and if you think about it, when you guys are looking for a hotel, do you care where you're going to book it, or do you care for the best price you get? In my case, I look at Booking.com, I look at Agora, or I use services like Trivago, which aggregate all of the prices, and they show me the lowest price I can get for this hotel, and I book with it. Like, the customer in general doesn't care so much where exactly he's going to book. He cares about the price. It's extremely price-sensitive area, and just to support your words, this is exactly what we hope to get. If we are the best in terms of service for the customer, we hope that this will bring additional viral effect and expand our customer base cheaper. But what advantage does using blockchain give you? Why not run your booking engine through your centralized database? Applications have to use it anyway. No. Okay, well.
You want me to answer this?
Maybe you want to answer.
Okay. Okay. So this is a very important question. The reason why this project can happen only through blockchain is because think of the database of the properties and the hotels. Basically, by keeping it decentralized and shared among all applications, each application contributes to one general value of the engine. So let's, for the purpose of this question, let's make an example. If we have 3 market applications, for example, one in Germany, one in Singapore, and one in China. So the Chinese market application, so that's going to be a booking website in Chinese, is going to start working with Chinese hotels. It is going to integrate them, to present them their service, and it's going to add them to the database of their inventory. In a similar way, the one from Germany is going to work with German hotels, and they're going to add German hotels to the database, and this way they'll share it with the others. So in the end of the month, for example, if each of those 3 websites adds, okay, that's a good drawing. If each of those websites adds 1,000 properties to the database, in the end of the month, each of them will receive 3,000 in return. And the best plus is that there's going to be a huge synergy from the perspective of German website not being needed to work with Chinese hotels, because the Chinese hotels, there is a cross-cultural difference. It's on the other part of the world. The cost for acquisition will be much higher. And this way, locally, this will be a global database which will be subject to local competitive advantage. Everybody would contribute to it, and everybody will win from it. And to return to the question, why not make it centralized? Because when it's centralized, there are a lot of risks associated with somebody to invest in a centralized and in an asset which is owned by someone else. Ask yourself this question. If you have a booking website and you spend euro and dollars for each acquisition of each property that you list, would you be willing to do it if you know that this is going to go to a server that belongs to another company? I don't think so. But if you know that this database doesn't belong to no one, it's basically neutral, it's completely autonomous, nobody can buy it, nobody can shut it down, it's not dependent on anyone's health, anybody's legal status, basically it exists for the purpose to exist and nothing else. And in that case, there are no risks and nobody thinks about the risk, and this way anyone could contribute to it. In a similar way, the internet has developed over time. Imagine if the internet was a private asset, for example, owned by one company. It would never would have developed to what it is right now, because everybody, by knowing that it doesn't belong to anyone, this simply doesn't make him care about those risks, and everybody just works towards building his own value as a part of the internet. So that's a similar analogy.
Just a slight correction. Actually, it belongs to everyone.
To everyone, yes.
This is the good thing. Yes. And it's 100% guaranteed. Like, there is no corruption, no fraud. It's over there, and we can all use it. You know, I suggest we do a change over here. Like, we have been online for 1 hour. Maybe we can leave the other questions for next week or the next time we appear online. So
yes,
more people can now listen to our replies, and they may have some follow-up questions.
Yes,
so
yes.
Just feel free to post them in Telegram, over our email, in Facebook, Twitter, and our team is going to gather these questions, and next time we are going to start directly with these questions, and we'll also be very happy if you guys join us live, and we can have a discussion.
Okay, so have a good day, and thank you for joining, and we'll keep in touch.
Thank you, guys. Cheers.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.